What is up, YouTube? It is Mr. Ferguson back once again. Thank you guys so much for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina to my lawn in our GCI turf type tall fescue, which we are going to jump into talking about here momentarily. I'm not sure what I named this one, but we're going to get into talking about weeds and talking about grass seed causing weeds. And I'm going to show you, we're not just going to sit here and blab the whole time. I want to also show you and explain to you from my lawn exactly what we're going to be talking about on this one. But before we get into that, if you guys would hit that like button, it helps it to get out to other people that may be interested in lawn care, maybe here in North Carolina for the first time they've done overseeding. I know here on the local, I like to listen to the radio a lot in my vehicle going to and fro work around the Raleigh area, and I hear all the advertisements. Now is the time to plant your fescue lawn. So there's new people out there that are possibly saying, hey, I'm going to try that this year. I got our new homeowners that have just bought a home that want to try to have a fescue lawn. These type videos may help them and encourage them. So hit that like button if you would. And also, like others have generously done, comment below to help generate some views for the videos. I do appreciate it. And as I've mentioned in the past, several videos since a month ago or plus that we've overseeded, that a lot of the links for products are in the description of the video, to include AirPods, to include the latest 3000 fertilizer we put down here recently. And so check that out in the description of the video. Today we're only supposed to get up to 65 degrees. It's currently right around the high 50s. The rain, we've got this low that's right off the coast right near my brother's house down in Wilmington. He's actually coming up here this afternoon, so I'm filming this earlier on Saturday morning. We've got Pastor Appreciation Day, which is my dad, going on tomorrow, and since this is coming out Monday, me and my brother are going to be getting on the stage to kind of do that sermon, if you will, or you know, talk a little bit about our pastor slash dad and about our church in Central North Carolina called New Hope Worship Center. So it is streamed online. If you're interested in watching that, you can look up NHWC Bun, and there will be the past live streams. If you're interested, you can click on it and watch it and hear what we had to say. Getting back into the lawn though, weather-wise, it's supposed to have all this rain from the Wilmington area spin up more into the evening hours here where I'm located in Central North Carolina, and it looks like Sunday is going to be really rainy. Supposedly an inch or less is what they claim we could get here. So that either means we'll probably get over an inch of rain or nothing at all. I mean, I'm just saying the weather people here lately have just been pretty terrible at doing their job. So that's just the facts. So we'll see. We don't know, but we're hoping. We did put down, the last thing we talked about on Friday's video was we put down 3000 granular fertilizer, which, by the way, the prills of that fertilizer are super small. And the product itself, I was talking to Mr. Kevin, the product itself is like 40 bucks. It's actually relatively cheap. It's the shipping that can get you with one-day shipping from GCI. It can be a bit on the pricier side, whereas driving down to your local Lowe's and getting the Stay Green may be a better option for you if your budget can't hit, you know, a couple extra. But I love supporting GCI, and that's why I did it this time. I wasn't able to get to Lowe's. So with all of that said, I wanted to actually make a video to talk about this topic as a commenter had brought it up. And what they had mentioned is, you know, for the first time, Mr. Ferguson, I've used the GCI seed like you've been talking about, and it was a mistake. As soon as I put it down, I had all these weeds pop up in my lawn, and I will never use GCI again, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, and if that person's watching, I don't, you know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it was to that extent, right? That they tried GCI, and GCI was full of weeds, and now they have a lawn full of grass and weeds, and it was terrible, and they need to use something else. And so I wanted to address that. And so the first thing that I told this individual was, well, you're incorrect in a lot of what you say. Number one, we know, and we talked about this on the big day, that GCI turf type tall fescue seed does not have any weeds in that bag. And that is not the case for others in grass seed. There's other grass seed where you will have weeds in the bag, and it says it because by law they're required to tell you the contents of what's in the seed bag. And so when it's tested, it says, hey, there's this amount of weeds in this bag, or there's this amount, how many noxious weeds, how many weed seeds. And so we just as an example, if you go to Walmart or Lowe's and pick up a bag of just generic Scott's or other type of brand, yeah, I don't know any of the brands. I can't think of them at this time. But if you turn around and look at the seed label where it says weed seeds, you will see a percentage number there. And many of them, I don't know off the top of my head if Lowe's or Home Depot sells grass seed that has absolutely zero weeds in them. I don't think they do. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I do know for 100% fact, hands to God, that GCI seed is blue tag certified, and it is also tested, and it is weed free. So when you throw out and you spread GCI seed into your lawn, there is absolutely zero chance you are going to have weeds come out of that bag of seed. That is impossible. So how did this user get weeds in their lawn from GCI seed? Well, they're mistakenly thinking it came from the bag of seed, but that is incorrect. Now, what I told the user is if you did aeration like I did, you have to understand what that means. When we do fall aeration, we're taking a mechanical piece of equipment and we're pulling up plugs from the earth onto our soil, and we're doing this, we're tearing the grass up over and over and over again, right? When we do this, we expose soil to the sun. When we expose the soil to the sun hits seeds that are already in our lawn, then it's germinating seeds that we can't even see. It is the sun is piercing it, and in the combination of us watering the good grass seed that we've just laid out, weed seeds are going to come up. It happens every single year, and that is why I said I wanted to show you things. So even right here where I'm filming, when we put down tenacity, the purpose is to prohibit most of those weeds. I would almost guarantee you that this commenter did not put down tenacity at the time that they put out their GCI seed, because had they done that, there would have been no existing weeds for at least the first month or so. Now, we know that in our lawn that wears out after 30 days. And here's a prime example. Right here, you can see the lily pad things. I think this may be Creeping Charlie. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not a big deal. But you see all of these weeds right here in front of me. Well, these were here 30 days ago because, again, we put down tenacity. And tenacity, the whole purpose of it was to prevent weeds. Again, stepping right over here, I'm just showing you, look at this. We have this random wild weed in the middle of my lawn, and this was not here 30 days ago. Tenacity prevented all this, but as we've had high temps and we've needed more water, and we've been water, tenacity wears off. We've exposed our soil. We've got new dirt to the surface that was not there, 2 months ago, and the sun is hitting it, and we're putting water down, and things are going to grow. That is why, the lawns to my left and my right naturally are going to have something cover them, because they're, the sun, the water, something is going to grow there. And so when you're doing that with your grass seed, when you're turning over your dirt, things are going to grow. And if you put the majority of a grass type in your lawn, that's what's going to grow the majority. And a lot of times it'll choke it out. Like right here, you can't even see what I was just telling you. You can see this guy right here a little bit, but I'm not worried about any of this. But we want to wait. And now we're getting into, well, how do we deal with these weeds? Well, that's simple. We just need to do a simple herbicide of 2,4-D, and you're going to knock out 90% of these little things like this that have creeped up from the results of aerating and turning over our dirt. Just applying something simple like a herbicide, even from Lowe's or Home Depot. I like Speed Zone myself, and I've never had an issue with it, and it works. But when I apply it, I'm going to clean up all of these weeds that appear and have popped out of nowhere. So that is very easy, very simple, but it's key to know where the weeds came from. They did not come from the grass seed, and they actually came from your dirt and the changing of temperatures. And if you're watering your ground and others are not watering your ground, you're going to have weeds come up. It's just a natural thing that will occur. Here's another example. You can see as I just slowly walk right here, look at all of the weeds on the edge right here. Again, this happens every single year. you can see the clover that is just popped up. Well, why did that clover pop up? Because this is where we planted our GCI seed? No, I didn't plant seed over here, but we have weeds over here. Did it come from the grass seed? No, it's because of all the water I have been pushing into my lawn. Water causes growth. And so that's where it's coming from. And so with the temperature change, these are weeds that are going to pop up, and you're going to notice that some weeds that are from the warm season from summer are going to start dying out. Your crabgrass is naturally going to start turning colors and dying and going away because it doesn't like cold air. I see weeds out here in the center. I see some weeds over here on the edges. I see it when I walk through, and I was mowing the other day, but it's not a bother. Number one, once your grass thickens up and we start getting natural rain again, eventually we're going to start getting some rain. The seed is going to grow. It's going to choke out a lot of this, but to clean this up, it is very simple. Spot spraying with like a 2,4-D or speed zone application, very easy, very simple, and it's going to melt all of these weeds so easily without harming the good turf. But right now we're getting close to the point. That's what I was looking up and debating today. Hey, can I go ahead and spray some 2,4-D? But with all of the extra seed I've needed to put down because of the rough last week or two, it's not smart to do that. I don't want to damage or harm any of the new roots or shoots or anything of that nature. I want to fully grow in my lawn before I start tackling weeds. And plus, again, you really have to get in, and say, oh, look, there's weeds here. From the road, nobody can care. I know it's there, and you should see weeds there. With all the watering, you should expect to see weeds. And as your tenacity wears off, this is normal. So don't freak out about that. But understand where the weeds come from. Now, if you didn't use GCI turf type tall fescue, you used another brand, you got something super cheap from Walmart, it is a possibility that some of your weeds not only came naturally like what I'm talking about right here, but also it could have came from you sowing it into your ground. That's why I would encourage you to try out Mountain View cultivars or GCI turf seed, because you have a guarantee that it's not coming from that bag. You're not going to be sowing Poatriv into your lawn. You're not going to be sowing, anything that is garbage, seed into your lawn, guaranteed with GCI turf or other seeds that say zero weed seeds. But even as I walk over here, guys, you can just see I've got some stuff popping up right here. I got some stuff back here. I see weeds popping up here where it's kind of thin, and you can see on the edge right here clover and just stuff. That's fine, no big deal at all. Like, let your lawn fill in and get lush and grow in, and all the reseeding, if you're like me and you've had to do it, let it grow. Let's not get too anxious, like I said, with pre-emergent or with herbicide, to want to injure that, and we forget about it because we see the existing grass that's now got weeds in it, and we're like, hey, let's not jump ahead too much. Let your grass, give it some time. But if you're anxious to do that and you haven't overseeded extra like myself, then yes, then the recommendation is for the 2,4-D, wait about 2 to 3 mows. If you've done one seeding, it's come in perfectly, and you've done 2 to 3 mows, I think you're perfectly fine to go ahead and start tackling some weeds if you want to with a 2,4-D or a tenacity, if you want to go that route. However, with something like clover, they're like, hey, 2 applications. Well, with 2,4-D, it pretty much melts it. I only really use tenacity when it's the beginning of the overseeding season. So that's my recommendation, and we'll do a weed video here before long. But I thought it was appropriate and a great point to make a video on. Where are the weeds coming from? Where's the source? It could be coming from your bag of grass seed, but if you bought GCI turf, I guarantee you it is not. And secondly, we know that adding water, if you go out, Pete showed this, and we've given the example 1,000 times. If you go out in your lawn right now and dig a hole back here and then fill it back in and just put water and water the rest of your lawn while that area is also hitting water, something's going to grow there because you've turned that dirt over, and it's probably going to be Poa annua, it's probably going to be some other weeds you're going to see that fresh dirt's been turned over. Weeds are going to come up automatically, and if you put grass seed on it, you're going to have grass seed come up, you're going to have weeds come up. And if you take away later on with the health of the new grass, then come in with a herbicide to clean up the weeds, now you're just going to have a lawn that's beautiful, lush, and 90% tall fescue, the desired grass type that you planted. So I hope that is a very kind and a very reasonable way to explain that, and that it's in a way that makes sense. And I hope that user is watching to know that I'm not angry or mad at them. And you know, it's just, that's the facts of what we're discussing. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps others out there. If it did, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you're already one and done seeding this year and you're already on trying to choke out some of your weeds or actually spray to kill some weeds. Let me know. I'm anxious to see how it's going to turn out with some of this this storm system coming up. So I'm hoping we are going to get some rain out of this. Let's pray to the Lord that this fertilizer I put down gets soaked into the ground and an inch or less. Hopefully it's a slow, not big pounding of rain, but a slow drenching rain, and that it's really going to darken it up a lot once this gets watered in. And we are going to have to be on top of mowing. But again, the more you mow, the thicker it's going to grow, and it's going to thicken up way faster with high end. And then we'll kind of lay off of it after this October application. Probably going to lay off the end a lot. So anyways, God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday. Hope you have a fantastic week, and we will catch you on the next one. God bless.